If you've ever been in a situation where you've offered a lot of value to someone and they will not take that value, they will not close the sale and purchase, or they will not go to your event, or they won't go on a date with you, here's a video for you. Now, we all have heard the phrase in the personal development sphere how you need to give value rather than be a value taker. It's not that secret of advice anymore. And that's like the first step, the level one, to go from someone who's a value taker to a value giver. But how come, in my experience and maybe in yours, you've been in those situations where you offered, let's say, a woman to go to a exclusive party or a photo shoot or a table at a nightclub, not just the general attendance, the GA, but an actual exclusive table at the nightclub or whatever it is, and they still decline or they still won't give it away. Well, in this video, I want to talk about that next level to actually close the sale or get someone to show up to something or to the next event, or essentially create your own event and get them to show up. Whatever it is, it can apply to a lot of things: career, networking, or even dating. And I've experienced this many times. And I think the answer to this issue is that they haven't felt like they earned that invite. And therefore, it's still kind of fishy to them. In many people's heads, their guard is up because they know there's scams out there. So if anything's too good to be true or something just given away, they automatically assume it's a scam or something that's a trick of some sort and not actually just pure value. So you may even see this in prank videos on YouTube, or even like those videos where it's not even a prank, they're just trying to help out a homeless guy or homeless person and give them money and stuff. Because what you see is when they approach people and sometimes just giving free money, hey, do you want $100? Do you want $20? People walk past, they say, no, I don't want that. Or I saw one video where literally it was like $1 or mystery gift. And this one person literally took the $1, whereas the mystery gift was super big and bulky. It could have been worth like $200 or more. Why do you think they chose the $1? Because they were probably suspicious. They thought it was some type of scam and they just wanted the quick, more reliable win, even if it was a much smaller price. Some people might be like, well, it's so stupid. Why would you get $1? That's what was my thought first. But this stuff happens. And for me, it's happened in various venues. I would say one set of scenarios that it happens enough that I've gotten feedback from experts on how to improve is with women. So one thing I learned is that, and I'm not an expert, but I just wanted to share something I learned as a student. There's been situations where I've had the opportunity to offer women free drink tickets, free access to exclusive parts of the nightclub and tables at some of the top nightclubs in Las Vegas, and offered stuff like that, even exclusive parties to like mansions and stuff. And yeah, some of them will say yes, but why is it that some will shockingly say no and just not want to go? Well, there's a number of reasons, and you can't account for all of them. Maybe they're in a bad mood. Maybe they just, felt it would be disrespectful to their partner, whatever it is. You can't account for all of these, and that's fine. But when I noticed the percentage of people saying no was much lower than I would have expected, that's when you have to dig into it. And to cut to the chase, it's because they didn't feel like they earned that sale yet. They didn't feel like they earned it. Like if you lead with that, sure, if the offer is good enough, like let's say it's a big headliner night at a big club in Vegas, and a big artist like Rufus Du Sol or Diplo is playing, and the crowd is packed, and it's very obvious that the tables at the nightclub are less crowded, people aren't shoving and pushing and elbow to elbow. Of course, when the offer is good enough, or you have something like exclusive photo shoot or charity gala or red carpet event or Grammys party to go offer, of course, it's very obvious a high percentage will say yes. But sometimes you don't have that. What you have is like maybe a table at a less popping nightclub with not a bit as big as a headliner, or just free drink tickets where you get this coupon and then you could go to the bar and get a free drink of your choice. Why do they say no? What's up with that? Well, you're literally handing out free money in a way. what I learned is that unfortunately, sometimes people are just on guard. And so even though you're offering free stuff to them, I think a lot of them just don't believe it. Now, you talk to enough of them, you hand out enough, eventually someone's going to say yes and realize it's not a scam or just take that leap. But to increase those odds, one thing I've been told is to literally just be like, talk to them for a bit and make them feel like they earned what you're offering them. If you're just giving it for free and leading with that, they might think, oh, this guy wants something in return. It's something transactional. Maybe, it's one of those cliches of, oh, he's just buying me to drink, so he feels like he deserves or expects to spend the next 30 minutes with me. Something like that. So they think it's transactional or there's some hidden expectation or it's a scam. And so when you really get to know that and then you pick out one thing that you really like about them and you say, or you just indicate in subtle ways that this person, I've screened them, I've qualified them, I think they're worth it. And this can be stuff like just saying like, you're cool, right? You're not gonna do anything weird, right? Then the frame shifts. Now you're the buyer and they're the seller. You're not trying to sell them on this free value, which by the way, when you show those nonverbal cues of like neediness or please, which I didn't even know I was doing, but I was doing back then, it just makes you look more and more like you're chasing them and desperate and needy or a scam, and then they push away further. So I remember back when I first got these free coupon drink tickets, a promoter friend of mine had some extras. He gave them out to me, and I was astounded. I asked one girl, two girls, three girls, and I didn't even want anything back. I was like, I'm offering free value, and they would just reject it as if they were. At the point, I didn't even know why they were rejecting. I got frustrated, and I didn't even realize it, but my body language got worse, and that probably led to more rejections. So that's, I think, one thing, once you pick out something, let's say you're inviting them to a social event, like a barbecue or a sand volleyball event later, and you just met this cute girl or this person, you can say something, and this is something Nick Gray taught me, but a bunch of other coaches, Casey Herzog, have said similar things. But you can say stuff like, okay, I like that you seem like a cool person because you like volleyball. And because of that, I want to invite you to this, really cool beach volleyball event later today. So it feels like they earned it, or there's a reason that you qualified them a bit before you gave it out. Now, of course, do you always have to do this? No. Sometimes you have a great offer, you have $100 million offer of some sort. It speaks for itself, and you could just lead with that as soon as you meet them, and you could say, hey, we got a backstage table right behind Diplo playing tonight, and then 99% of people are not going to say no to that because they're in GA in the crowded area at XS nightclub. But if you don't have that, or you have less strong offers, like let's just say you have a random table at some random club on a random night without a headline DJ, these things I found come up. And now, will this technique solve everything? No, I'm still trying to figure it out too. And sometimes, you can play it differently. Some people would just, go pure volume and just be like, hey, we got this. Hey, we got this. And then if people are saying no, they just move on quickly. But that's another approach to try. If you are getting something and you want to try something else, talk a little bit more with them and then make them feel like they have earned your offer before you offer it. And that might just help get over their guard so that you can actually offer something of tremendous value for free. In those situations, examples I mentioned, I really was not trying to get anything back from them. I was in a place where I had abundance of free drink tickets. And it was just astounding to me and frustrating to see how I was literally handing out free cash, and it took a while before someone accepted it. And it wasn't a girl, it was actually a guy who was also super skeptical, and eventually I convinced him for those tickets. So that's it. Work on either the offer itself or work on how you position it and frame it so that you get past people's guards and they actually take you up on that offer. Thanks for watching.